that was fun. I don't even know what else to say. I know I've been talking about how I don't really think the Big Ten tournament this year was all that important, but you kind of see the reaction of those players on the court. You see it in the faces of the coaches, and you really do see how much it mattered to them. This team was, I mean, Brad Underwood's been talking about it all season long. This is the closest knit team that he's had. And, in my group chats, I was just talking about how rooting for this team is such a 180 compared to last year. Last year, I rooted for Illinois because they're Illinois. But, we saw the faces and the chemistry or lack thereof, and none of us had any confidence that that team was really going to go anywhere. This year with this team, I was talking about it yesterday in that Nebraska game. For those who do follow me on X, at IliniCast, we were down 15, shortly after half, and I'm just like, this team's not done yet. I placed a bet, got plus 230, and cashed out on that. Teams need to realize that you can't out Illinois. It's if we hit 90, it's going to be hard for you to hit 90. Purdue had the right strategy against us. Cut off all sorts of transition. Don't let us get running and going. Wisconsin, they competed, and I mean, let's be honest, this was one of the best college basketball games I've ever seen on both sides. We had horrible officiating, which that's just how the entire season has been in the entire conference. But I mean, Max Klismet, oh my God, that guy was just jacking threes with full confidence. They were going in. Every time he shot the ball, I thought it was going to go in. Terrence Shannon Jr. has his ultimate vindication game, and I hope, now I'm streaming now, so I'm not going to be able to get any news. So if they announce an MVP, if one of you guys can let me know in the comments, I'd really appreciate it. I like to go live immediately afterwards because there's a whole lot of guys better than me at what I do who you can listen to, but they're watching the Brad Underwood press conference right now. But Terrence Shannon going from those no means no chants from the crowd at the beginning of the game to at the end of the game with a minute left, just hearing MVP, MVP. How can you not be just super excited and elated for that kid? He played his butt off this entire tournament. He single-handedly just would not let us lose. Marcus, obviously, he struggled again a little bit. Not today. The previous couple of games. But Shannon, 40 points yesterday. I think it was, 32 or something along those lines today. I don't even have a box score in front of me. Literally, the game ended. I went upstairs. I high-fived my kids. I hugged my wife. And I was like, all right, now I got to go record. I don't know what I want to talk about. I think I just want to talk about this team. It's just Coleman Hawkins with that block that he had at the end against I forget who it was, but I mean, how clutch was that? Gary, he missed a layup kind of at the end of the game, but some of his 3-pointers. I talked about with 6 minutes left and the game being as close as it was, that this last 6 minutes was going to be super important for Brad Underwood. And the only thing I really particularly disagree with was having Luke Goody in the game. I don't know what Goody does for you if he's not making wide open threes. But outside that, there's only 5 or 6 teams in the country that can compete with us in a track race, if we're talking about just scoring. Our offense is our best defense in the sense where if you go through a 2-3 minute lull in scoring, we put the pressure on you. We can score 6, we can score 9, we can score 14 points in a couple minutes. Illini EE checks in with me. Thanks for watching. 20% of your viewers are in France. Well, bonjour. Um, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. What a I want to hear from you guys. I This was such a fantastic game. If you're not subscribed already, I try to throw out content on a weekly basis, but multiple times on a weekly basis. A lot of you think you're subscribed, you're actually not. It would really help me out, a small channel like mine, if we get to 1,000 subs. YouTube kind of pushes us out more. So if you can do that for me, I'd really appreciate it. Right now, we have about 41 people watching. Thank you so much across all platforms. And again, it's just this team deserved to have some sort of hardware. This team deserved to have some sort of banner of acknowledgement in the entire history of Illinois basketball. And so once we, and I don't know if I was just saying this, but no, I think I truly believe it. Like, I don't think the Big Ten tournament was that important. We all know what we all are focusing on is next week and getting to the second weekend of March Madness. But let's just say, should things not work out for us, to have this team get no sort of acknowledgement, remembrance in the record book, that would have been sad. You know, Marcus Domask, find of the year. I wish there's some way to have this guy stick around another year. I'm embarrassed by how not excited I was for his transfer in after us losing the two guys that we did, or three guys, including Melendez. But he comes through for us again for the most of the time, making the right play, and him and Shannon really just balance each other out so incredibly well. You have the half court guy, and you have the full on fast break guy. We have, again, that's what makes our offense so intimidating to play against. Illini EE checking in again. Once the track meet started, I knew we would win. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It happened yesterday in the Nebraska game, and it kind of happened again today. Teams playing against our defense almost sometimes get a false sense of confidence because they're scoring as often as they are. But most teams in the country, as I mentioned before, like, there's probably only 5 or 6 who can really compete with the offensive talent that we have and go at it for 40 minutes. Because yeah, your squad is probably, you may have gotten your highest scoring half in months, but what happens is we're right there. We're only a couple possessions behind you, and the difference is we're not going to stop. Illinois just keeps scoring. They're going to have a lull. Illinois is going to go a 3-minute stretch almost every half where they just stop scoring for whatever reason, but they overwhelm you with points the other 17 minutes. Again, it's tough for an opposing team because if you go 2 possessions without scoring, that can be a 5-point turnaround right there. We can go on an 8-0 run immediately. Terrence Shannon, and ones. Dane Danger. How can you not be happy for this kid? He's just kind of put his head down. He's been kind of the Illini punching bag all year long, just playing 4 or 5 minutes at a time. People getting frustrated, understandably, with his defense. And he gets in front of his home crowd. He's from Minnesota. And he puts 2 of the best games, not just of the season, but almost in his career. And he's been so incredibly important. That big body is just really, really hard for other college centers to go up against. That score that he had, where Coleman found him, where he just outran the Wisconsin player and got an easy layup, that was huge for momentum. "53 people watching. We appreciate all of you. Illini EE once again checking in. 8 in a row against Wisconsin. It's getting hard to choose who I dislike the most: Indiana, Iowa, or Wisconsin. The answer is kind of easy for me. For me, I still have the most bitter taste with Iowa. It is what it is from the last couple of years. Garza winning national or Big Ten Player of the Year over Io. That left it. I mean, and we have the fan bases go at it. So Iowa for me is easily Indiana. I don't like either. In particular, the people I interact with on good old social media. But I'd have to say Iowa's probably my most disliked team of those three, at least. There's another team you didn't list, which I kind of dislike a little bit more right now. Josh McCorkle, thank you for watching. Let's go, ILL. I met Josh. Thanks for chiming in. Domask almost had a triple double. Yeah, I mean, did he have one of the quietest great games in the country this year? Everyone was talking about Shannon, coming close to breaking the all-time tournament scoring record. But Domestic, again, I don't have the box score in front of me. I guess I can pull it up, but the guy barely missed any shots. He was doing exactly what we would ask him to do. And Wisconsin never really figured out how to guard him. They, at least this time around, started sending another guy. But at least on a couple plays, Domask just made the right play. Just whatever guy was sent to him, he'd pass it to that player. Try to get an open three. I think the selection Sunday is about to happen, so I think I'll just stick around and I'll stay on, and maybe one of you guys can kind of let me know if we're the number that we're at in our bracket is leaked. Domask 8 for 11, 8 assists, 7 rebounds. I'm gonna miss him so bad. Like, I know you hear rumors that we might try and see if we can get a waiver for him, and the NCAA acts really weird when it comes to that stuff, and it seems to be really random. Except for the only consistent thing is it never goes the Illini way. But if there's any chance to bring Marcus Domask back, I really hope we go that route. Illini E, for decades, we have lost tournament games because we could never make free throws. Villanova still haunts me. Yeah, our boys are making free throws, and not just the guys we expect to make them. And it's not just Shannon and Domask continuing to shoot at the plus 80%, in Domask's case, plus 90%. Dane Danger's starting to make free throws. Ty Rogers, I think I saw a stat, he missed his first few, but he's shot 60 or 70% since. And these are guys, the reason they weren't playing at the end of the games is because they run the risk of getting hacked, whether it's hack-a-tie or hack-a-danger. But when you hit your free throws, Wisconsin was hitting everything when it came to free throws. That matchup between Storr and Shannon today, that was fun to watch. Both these guys went after it. I kind of wish Storr would guard Shannon too. Obviously, they had Hepburn, which makes sense. Hepburn is easily their best defender. Go up against Shannon, but on the defensive side for us, Shannon was guarding Storr almost every single time. And I see similarities. There's obviously the big difference is on the defensive end. Shannon is a lockdown defender, whereas I don't think Storr cares about that side yet. But he's also younger. He's just a sophomore. But Storr seems to try to do acrobatic circus shots when it might not even be needed. I just think he overdid a couple moves. But he's such an exciting player, and I'm sure you guys have all heard the same rumors as I have. That he kissed a floor on senior night, and there's rumors going around that that Storr is going to be, how do I say this politely, looking to be rewarded for his services on the court. And I've heard, the Illini name mentioned. Now, obviously, most of you guys know we were involved with his recruiting as a prep. He was committed to us at one point. All right, Josh, checking. We are playing Moorhead State. Is that right? All right. Sorry, I'm going to try to quickly see a bracket so I can. 3 seed, Moorhead State, Illini EE. Perfect. Thank you. Who is our potential second round opponent? I mean, that's also key, right? Is it Akron, like everyone's been kind of talking about? Greg, I appreciate you for watching. You're always chiming in with the channel, and trust me, I respect the hell out of that. I really do appreciate it. Stories from my hometown of Rockford. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be upset if he decided to come home. He's almost the perfect replacement for Terrence Shannon, what Terrence Shannon brought forward with this team. I apologize, guys. I'm just kind of looking to see if I can get somebody to send me a bracket. If you're on Twitter right now and you see a bracket, send it to @ICast. I can kind of just read it out loud. I see UConn and Iowa State in our bracket. Okay, someone just sent me that part. I still don't see it. I hate seeing UConn, but if I'm being honest, if I had to pick the number 2 seed that I was going to be that we had to be in, I think Iowa State would have been the answer. Again, if anyone can let me know who it looks like. Wait, hold on. This is interesting. Sky Clark just tweeted, "Big time congrats to Illini basketball and Coach Underwood on winning the Big Ten title. They can definitely cut down the nets next month. Terrence Shannon Jr., way to hoop, my guy. Best player in the nation." That was nice. I mean, some of us, probably deservedly, can be a little bitter towards last year. Him basically announcing his commitment to Louisville as soon as we were bounced out of the tournament, and yeah, that left a bad taste in some of our mouths. But you know, we've all moved on. Illini EE says, "Oh, Iowa State is a 2 seed. We have a path." Yeah, again, UConn's going to be tough, but let's just get to UConn. I talked about teams that can compete with us on the scoring side. UConn is absolutely one of those teams. Kentucky is another team. I was kind of secretly hoping we'd be in the same bracket as Kentucky because we're kind of mirror images of each other. I don't know if you guys are watching any Kentucky Wildcats games this year. It's just all pure offense, but the only difference between our team and their team is we're a bunch of 22, 23, 24-year-olds, whereas they're a bunch of younger guys. So I was kind of hoping that we could have gotten them. So we're in the Omaha bracket. Is it BYU? Am I reading that right? All right. Anyways, folks, thank you guys all for chiming in. We have how many people? 59 people. 59 people watching. Thank you all for watching. I'll stay on for a little bit longer. Greg, we fear no one. This team, yeah, I agree with you. This team, I think the only thing I fear is the level of the burden of our past, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? I don't fear any team out there individually necessarily. There's teams clearly better than us, but I don't think there's a single team in the country, the way our team is built, that we can't beat. Our biggest opponent at this point is, again, I don't know confirm. I can't confirm this. Josh just said it here. Also, I am excited. BYU, from the quick glimpse I got off of Twitter, I think BYU could be our potential second round matchup. Imagine a close game against BYU, and then all of a sudden, just that the burden of knowing what's gone on the last couple of years and not being able to get over the hoop or get over the bump comes through, and a couple missed shots here and there, that happens. Can we overcome it? Truthfully, I think this team can. Last year's team, I don't think so. I don't think so. They could have, but I genuinely really trust Domask. I trust Terrence, Guerrier, Coleman. I mean, these guys are all guys who've fought these battles before. Again, this is kind of, to circle back. This is why I'm so happy for this team. This team deserved to have something to show for this fantastic season. With everything that we've dealt with all season long, I think we were fourth in the preseason poll. Came in, we had an elite run in December. It looked like we could be one of the best teams in the country, and then our best player was gone. He had to deal with the stuff that he has to deal with. And then in those 6 games, we just kind of kept on chugging, including a very close loss to Purdue at Mackey. And then Terrence comes back, and again, it's a different team. Adjustments needed to be made. But now at the end of the season, I think, what have we won? Like 7 out of our last 8? 8 of our last 9? Something along those lines. Like, we're gelling when we need to gel. And not only that, let's give credit to, let me catch up on these chats real quick. Josh, again, I think we got BYU. They just lost by 20 in their conference tournament. Okay. And now Illini is confirming it's going to be either BYU or Duquesne. Now let's take care of Morehead State first, but that's good to know that that's going to be our potential Sweet 16 to get to the Sweet 16 matchup. This team is totally different from years past. We have a lot of experienced grown men that want it more. Bingo. Exactly right. Like, I don't think this kind of group is going to get down. Oh, back to my original thought that I was having before these chats. We were down double figures pretty much every game in this tournament. Every game. And not one of those games did I think that we were out. Again, those of you who follow me at IlliniCast on Twitter, I literally posted my bet slip. We were down, I think, I had the idea when we were down 15, but I didn't get the bet in until we were down 10. I'm like, you know what? I think this game is not over. I think there's a decent chance that we can come back, and then we'll see what happens. And that's exactly what we did. Nebraska, it's just Nebraska is one of those teams where they're a likable team, but they remind me of us in Iowa's first year, just not ready to make that jump yet. And I think the light shined a little too bright. I think they've got a bright future. I have a soft spot for Fred Hoiberg. I think he's a really nice guy. I think he got a really unfortunate situation when he was coaching my Chicago Bulls. But they weren't ready. Wisconsin's a team that's well coached, pretty well coached. It depends on which Badger fan you ask. But they've got a lot of good skilled players. And this game was toe to toe. I'm confident. I was confident coming into this game. I'm going to say this very respectfully. I was very confident in winning this game because I think we're better than Wisconsin, and we are their kryptonite in the sense that we are so athletic. And while Wisconsin's super skilled, they're not that athletic. And so today, with this game, I was confident that we'd come in winning, but we've won like 7 in a row against them. So at some point, Greg Garda, I just thought, okay, they might be due for one. And what we watched is one of the best games of college basketball this year. It was super entertaining for both sides. Referee calls went one way or the other, and it's just unfortunate because that's kind of a side story of every game now. But I mean, that game showed, Illini were down 3. Terrence Shannon comes back and hits a 3. Wisconsin down 3. Cliff Smith nails a 3. It was just a fantastic game between 2 really good programs, and I'm so relieved. 8 of the last 9 is what Illini says. Thank you. Gregory says, everyone please like and subscribe. Yes, please. It takes a second out of your day. Let's all have a like spike right now. If you're watching this, most of you don't realize you're not subscribed yet. You may have watched me before, so they'll still throw you in your algorithm, but you're not actually subscribed yet. I think 80% of the viewers of the show aren't subscribed. So if you don't mind, everyone just hit that like button or something like that. It would really help me out. Thank you so much. I mean, come on, this is for the Illini. It's I love it. I'm so happy for these guys, man. So happy for these guys. I still haven't seen a bracket, so I apologize that I can't go in depth with that right now. But maybe this is one of those things where 59 people watching. Thank you. This might be one of those things where we'll just do a future episode talking about the bracket. And I'm looking forward to doing a season review for this team. I have a lot of thoughts personally, and for now, okay, I think that's going to be it for now. If hold on, check it out. It says ILL. Yes, sir. I. What a great day to celebrate. You know what? I can't wait to look over this bracket, see how things go. That's gonna be it for me now. If you're a fan, I'm going to be talking about the Big Ten bracket and our involvement in Selection Sunday on my other show. If you guys are interested, at Big Ten Show, look that up on YouTube. You can find it in my profile at the Sunny V on Twitter. I'm going to be recording that live with a Wisconsin guy, a Purdue guy. We're just going to be talking about where the Big Ten teams have landed in the tournament. If you're a fan of the Cubs, find me at Cubs Rundown. That's a new project I'm working on. If you're a fan of the Bears, at Bears Rundown. All new projects. I've been very lucky, and I'm going to be announcing a future one very, very shortly. I'm very excited about that opportunity. But I just want to say thank you all for your support. Again, it's a one man thing, and Austin helps me out too. I'm just having fun. And some of you guys know my story. About a year ago, I had a concussion, or I got hit by a vehicle, and I couldn't speak. And because I couldn't speak, I talked to my doctor, and my doctor's like, "Yeah, you got to challenge your brain." So the kind folks at Big Banter reached out and asked me to do a podcast, and I'm like, I can't talk, but let's do a podcast. And now look at me. It's been a wonderful ride for me this year. We started with football season. It's continuing to go on with basketball season, and I'm just having a lot of fun. And the reason I'm having fun is because of you guys. So thank you again all for watching. We'll check in probably in the next day or two. Send me a tweet, send me whatever you want, and any questions you might have. And let's go enjoy this Sunday night. Your Illini are the Big Ten tournament champions. ILL.